Hi guys, Dogger here with a new video, and this video will be a video on the primary channel showing you why World of Warcraft Classic actually has more active PvP. Now you're going to say, but how can it come that we have active PvP? There is no gearing that you can grind, there is no real ladder, there is no ranking, there is no competitivity, there is nothing going on for Classic. And you are correct. There is no ranking, there is no arenas, there is no sense of ladder or rank or bragging rights. But one thing is for sure, if I'm trying to queue for AV, it's not going to be long before I get into AV. Weirdly enough, we have 25, let's say 25, I think it's a bit less, maybe 25, it's a bit more maybe, but let's say 25. 25 AVs currently busy with the game is going on. You have a 40 versus 40 BG. It's not like you get into a BG that is empty, because then I would be autofilled inside of it. No, they are all full BGs, 40 versus 40, 25 times 80. That's the amount of players currently playing on a Monday morning in EU. So it's like, again, I get an AV directly, I will be able to play with multitude of people. Maybe this one is already going and started. It is what it is. Someone left and I get backfilled. It is a AV that is going to probably be a turtle, but it is what it is. It's going to be a good example why I'm actually showing you why it's popular to PvP in World of Warcraft Classic, even if you are not a PvPer. Why do you see a lot of PvEers played AV or Warsong Gulch? Why are people still ranking although they don't like PvP? Why are PvPers also wanting to do AV? Because it's not only for PvEers, but it's also for PvP. Why are they grinding AV? Now, I can show you on Atlas Loot the many items that you would want even if you are a PvEer. But it's really simple. You get a really cheap mount for not that much, so you can buy it maybe in 1 week time. I'm already revered, so I just need to get exalted, and we will get the Stormpike Battle Charger because I don't have the 100% mount yet. There is multitude of BIS items for PvEers, but also for PvP. Hey, it's not only for PvE, it's also for PvP. We have Lay of the Life Giver, for example, the BIS for healing specs, healing classes. You have multitude of offhands for, let's say, a fire mage if they want to do Pompiros, or a warlock or a shadow priest. Like for example, me on my priest, I will get the Tome of Shadow Force once I have a better one hand. Right now I have Anathema, but I grind Exalted because I want to have that. There is also a bit for frost mages, like you see, 9 intellect plus also 34 frost spell damage. You have a Abyss ring for all melees pretty much, but also for hunters. This is also a very good hunter ring. You have obviously this, which is more niche, but it's crit, and crit is always going to be welcomed for warlocks, welcome for mages. Those are going to be the classes that really want this, but it's not like the only thing that they are going to get from actually grinding this. It's really weird that you cannot really get it as a druid though, but it is what it is. Mages, warlocks, and priests can have the Don Rodrigo's band. It should also be open up for shaman and for... I'm gonna die because I'm low level, but I don't care. I'm here for making a video. You have literally a great dagger if you're like a dagger rogue and you still don't have an MC dagger. This is actually a very good dagger to start with. You can do big backstabs, big ambushes on PvP, in PvP just in general. Then you have a two-hander for obviously in PvP. Arms warriors that are not lucky to get a good item in PvE, like for example in MC. You can get Dust of Bubble Force, which is very, very similar to other weapons. Obviously, you lose the axe specialization on the arms tree, but it is still a very good weapon to have, and you're going to smash some people with it. So, as you can see, AV is sexy for PvEers, but also for PvP. Everyone wants to grind AV. Everyone has to grind AV. And I know that some people really detest that, and that's fine. You can also just not do that if you want to. But there is also a good thing going on with AV. AV is also a great place to farm honor. And once you have the honor, like I said multiple times, the gear is actually not bad for PvE and for PvP. For example, in PvE, if you're a warrior, the helm is actually a very good helm. It's not like Lion's Heart helm, which is way like expensive, but this is like very similar. You're losing one crit, one hit. It's unfortunate, but it is like very close to BIS. The chest piece, the same. It's very close to SGC, which is an item that you're going to farm in BRD until like AQ pretty much. But it's a very low drop rate, on the boss itself. You have also, for example, the legs, which are like also 2% crit. A lot of those pieces are very, very good. If you're like a Shadow Priest, all of these are actually very good because you don't have a lot of accessible spell power, for example. So, for example, as a priest, I want to get rank 11, rank 10, pretty much. If you're a Warlock, you also have great pieces here. If you really want to be competitive, shoulders are very good because you're going to get a crit out of that as well. Your helm is also very good because you're going to get a crit and also some spell damage. And also some intellect and stamina. Again, all these pieces, you're going to grind it, and you can also, once BTOBL is going to come out, you're going to be possible to grind rank 14. But you're going to say, but rank 14, it's so hard, now you need to know life, it's like only grind, you have nothing to do, it is what it is. Look, we have a ranker add-on. It is not like back in the day where you had to have 1 million or 2 million honor just to be bracket 1 to be able to get to rank 14. No, here it is very simple. You get the amount of honor you need. For example, I have 49k, which I only need, I think, 45k to get rank 5 40%. I cannot go higher this week. So pretty much all I do right now is just like grind the reputation or grind a bit of levels because I am still level 51 here, for example. And next week, I'll be able to be rank 7, 40%. The week after, rank 9, 20%. And then rank 11. And the amount of honor is a lot, but it is really doable if you're playing the same amount of hours on retail or another like game. The amount of hours you're going to put into arena, in solo shuffle, the amount of hours you're putting into just queue times, this is way faster in my opinion. You can like reach your caps, I would say, in a day. For example, I did it on a day with my priest. I did it on a day as well with my warrior. All these like caps are very much doable if you're just like focused on one thing. If you're like focused into PvP and you want to like cap, you're going to be able to cap. And you can also join like a pre-made if you want to. You can also do solo if you want to. The queue times are so easy, so fast, you can do whatever you want. If you want to like just like stand AFK, I would not recommend, but if you want to stand AFK, you can do that if you want to. If you want also like me, level 51, you can grind here in the caves and you can just grind some harpies. If you are like a rogue, you can just gank people on the roads. Again, you can also go rush Drektar. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then it becomes like a 40-minute game. It is what it is. But that's part of Classic. If you are not enjoying the grind, then you're not going to do well. Now let's like try to talk about what it has to do with retail. Retail has a big problem. I do believe retail has more players than Classic. But for some reason, the queue times are just not it. And I don't care how many people are going to say, but my queue times are not that long. My queue times are rather fast, and I can also grind some minerals, like in herbalism as well, because I have all the time in the world to get a queue pop. That's all good, man. You can also say that you have like literally no real life time and you don't have the commitment to play Classic, but from my understanding, you need to actually have no life to actually be able to sit in queues for 2 hours to get one soul shuffle that you might lose. That just is my opinion, guys. If you're like 2400, 24500 and you want to climb, you're going to sit into 1 hour queues. Right now, on my Warlock, on retail, I again tried it again. I am currently 2300 in MMR. In solo shuffle, I'm not talking about solo QRBG. Solo QRBG is even worse, but solo shuffle, I get minimum 40-minute queues. I just can't be asked. I cannot stand 40 minutes still or do herbalism or do like mining just to get into a queue. for solo shuffle of all the things, which doesn't guarantee me that it is not a waste of time. I could just draw and get like literally no points, or I could literally also lose, and then I would be waiting 40 minutes to just lose a game. Is that normal? No, it is not. But the reason for that is there are just simply not enough players. If PvEers actually had an incentive to grind some PvP, then we would have bigger numbers, we would have more healers, we would have more DPSers, unfortunately. The truth is, the game should be changed. And right now, for example, again, like, he's farming me, I don't care. Right now, being level 50, like, excuse me. Right now, in Soul Shuffle, the problem is that we have too many DPSers for the amount of healers that you have, okay? That's the issue. If you have 5 DPSers in a queue, and you have 1 healer queuing up, it's not going to have a game. The game is not going to start. And obviously you have more healers queuing up, but those healers are picking DPSers that are in the queue, but you have still a queue going on. It's not like you're emptying the queue. You're never emptying the queue, unfortunately. And the issue for that is the MMR. The issue for that is the amount of healers that are queuing. The issue is also the balancing. Again, I understand you want to have equal healers on both sides. You want to have equal MMR. You want to have like some sort of balance. That's good. I want that as well. But the issue is it comes into the negative part where you are waiting for like fair games. And the truth is, I think the future would be and should be in M+, but also in PvP, by the way. In PvE and PvP, I think raiding, it's maybe different, but I know for Mythic Plus, there is like a shortage of tanks and healers, and in PvP you have a crazy shortage of healers. The future should actually dictates to make healers less dependable. Like you should be less healer dependable in PvP. So it means that you kind of have to give more tools to the DPSers to actually survive. So the healers are not going to be needed, but you're going to be able to sustain yourself by your class kit. That is unfortunate because it again goes back to the homogenization of the classes. Excuse me, this is like the police coming. The homogenization of the classes, which again goes way further away from what Classic was, from TBC, from Wrath of the Lich King. But the issue is that in current metagaming, if you want to have fairness, you kind of have to have homogenization for everything. Normalization, trying to have classes be able to do everything. It kind of shuts down any flavor towards the game. It is what it is, unfortunately. But that's what the players want, unfortunately. If you really want to have fairness, you need to give all the tools to everyone. So it means that you are going to be able to do solo shuffles and have insta-pops, because it's going to be DPS versus DPS. And if there is a healer, then actually the burden will be on the healers at that point. It means that if you have no healers, well, the healers are going to get a Q, but the DPS are not going to get a Q because it's directly going to be triple DPS versus triple DPS. Now, we already did in solo shuffles in the past where it was tank double DPS versus tank double DPS. It is and was miserable. It still is, by the way. If you're like playing double protection paladin lobbies, it really sucks. But the issue is because the DPSs don't have the tools to actually survive more than 5 seconds. And it's too bursty to like not have a healer in the group. So that's a problem. Like everyone wants that back, but I remember the times where it was double Garden Druid, or there was like Garden Druid versus a Protection Warrior, so we already knew who was going to win. But that's like, again, balancing. If you can balance the game around not needing a healer, but like more supports, or like turning it to a support kind of thing, it could be interesting to play around that. That's one thing. The other thing is just like giving rewards to PvEers as well. Like, I know that people don't like to have gear matter, but the truth is, in an MMORPG, gear should actually matter. If you want to have people actually being connected and be, I would say, grinding the things that you want them to grind, you need to give them purpose for that. And cosmetics is not enough purpose for them to actually... I cannot. I'm gonna die. It's not enough purpose to have them actually queue up, right? So what I find Classic doing good is that maybe for some people they don't like it, and that's fine. A game should not be 100% liked by everyone. That's the same for retail, actually. Maybe retail is just not tailored to me, and it is what it is. But I still think that the game should give more grinding options and worthwhile grinds. Like a warrior that gets Ice Barred Spear is like a huge upgrade. But like a new weapon in retail isn't just a stat stick in general. Like you're not going to watch the damage play, like the damage or the DPS. It doesn't really matter because everything is attack power based. So it means that you could have like a gray weapon and still do kind of the same damage. While if you are on classic, if you have like let's say a green weapon and then you get the epic one, that's a huge upgrade and it feels like it. I miss the fact that in retail you don't have that anymore. I also miss the fact that there is no real grinds towards PvP. Like for example reputation, which everyone hates, but the truth is everyone is busy with it. It's not like they're not busy with the reputation and they are like out crying about the reputation. No, they are busy with it and then they're crying about it, unfortunately. But it is a you think you do but you don't situation. You think you are not going to like the reputation and you don't like the reputation, but you're still connected and you still want to grind it because of the rewards. And once you have those rewards, you're going to be happy that you had to grind it. Or once you have done the grind, you would be happy of actually have it being done. So that's the thing I wanted to discuss. Again, this BG is going to be a long one, so I'm not going to be doing that much more than this. I'm also going to level. I'm done with actually ranking. And reputation-wise, I don't need to be like exalted for now. I can wait until I'm exalted pretty much. So I can wait until I'm level 60 pretty much. But yeah. And yeah, if anything, I'm very happy about Classic. I know that some people are not really liking Classic. It is what it is. It is not maybe not for you guys, and that's fine. But retail for me right now, I just wait for them to be able to shut my face up, literally. I just want to be able to say, oh damn, I'm miss, like I'm wrong about it. Oh, retail is popping off. Unfortunately, it is not the case. The start of the War Within was perfect. I really liked it. But for some reason, I don't know what happened. They actually dropped the ball. Again. And it seems like they're always working on the next big thing, the next new thing. But they are never really polishing what they already have. And that really is sad. Like, they have the War Within. They're probably working on Midnight right now. For sure right now. And they're forgetting about their current product. Like, even the Season 2 doesn't look that much promising, especially for PvP. I think if they're not addressing the elephant in the room, which is the queue times, then we're never going to actually have an improvement on it. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye. And it was my WhatsApp, by the way.